it's opposite. What's up? What is going on? My camera is opposite of how I like it. This is stressful. Just a moment here, folks. All right, let's see how we do here. Okay, much better. Much better. All right. Welcome, squad. Thanks for hopping in. What if I told you that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are absolutely cooked? That's what we're starting off. That's what we're starting off with today. If you are here and you have subscribed, we likely share a similar interest of loving the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So, obviously, I don't do a ton of live streams, but there's a lot we got to get to. And so, first thing I want to touch on for those who are here, we're going to get this camera thing right. Don't you worry. Do not worry. There we go. Beautiful. So first thing we got to talk about is we've got to decide, is it time for Todd Bowles to leave? Is it time for him to get fired? Listen, that's why I was hoping to have you here to help me decide. But essentially, I saw some stats today that was talking about how Todd essentially has us as the bottom, basically the worst defense, either the worst or second to worst defense in all of the categories that matter, of course. So I think, my cousin Tyler brought up a good conversation here about, at this point, what is Todd doing for us if he's not bringing elite defense and he's not giving us the play calls that we need? And I think that's a pretty legitimate call out. Now, of course, there's also the other side of things where it's like, okay, how many teams have taken the Chiefs to overtime, right? With basically a completely mangled team it's probably a little dramatic, but also true. Yeah, I mean, these are all of the things to think about. Definitely drop your thoughts in the comments. Obviously, if you're my mom, I appreciate you stopping by. Yeah, I mean, even if you're not my mom, just drop a comment, don't just leave me here. You know what I mean? Anyway, on a serious note, so basically, I think these are the things we have to think about. I think you could still win a Super Bowl with Baker Mayfield. I think you can absolutely see what is going wrong with not having pretty much a single vertical threat. On the outside. You obviously understand how important Mike is, but there's something about him not being out there that just kind of reminds you why he's a Hall of Famer and why he's basically had 5 to 6 different quarterbacks at this point. And yeah, I mean, why it matters, why he matters. So I don't know if we have a timeline on when Mike gets back. I can take a look at that now. If you haven't heard the news about Tristan Wirfs, then know that he's got an MCL sprain. The bye week couldn't come at a better time. That is for sure. But I think, I don't think he's going to be back after the bye. I mean, for me, it just kind of feels like the season has kind of run its course, which is why I have this dramatic title here. Let's pull up their remaining schedule just to get an idea of what the projections probably are. All right. So, Lord, we got, it's pretty favorable. I mean, there's a chance that we should legitimately finish the season, on a honestly complete winning streak. But you just have to wonder right now, what is the belief in the building? Yeah, so someone asked, he sprained his MCL. which I mean, it's definitely could be worse. The way that he has played for us, like he basically is not injury prone, like even in the slightest. I can't even remember him missing any time. So I think it is pretty shocking, just to see him down. But it just feels like that's the story of the season, right? It's literally just about injuries. I mean, yes, we've seen Godwin out for the full year before, but I mean, geez, with the way Liam Cohen has been cooking up plays, um, the way he's been cooking up plays, you would think that, we could really do something special here. So I don't know. It's strange, but let's read the rest of the let's see what happens when I share screen. Let's do this together. Um, they don't let me do that. They do not let me share my screen here. Just a minute. They want me to quit and reopen. Can't do it. Can't do it. Um, anyway, so remaining schedule, we've got the Giants, who I'm going to talk about in a little bit. So we've got the Giants. We're at the Giants on the 24th, close to Thanksgiving. Then we've got December 1st, Carolina Panthers. The Las Vegas Raiders, the Chargers, Cowboys, Panthers, and Saints. I mean, you just absolutely hate to have not won both of those games the last 2 weeks. You have to know. You have to know how painful it has been to literally walk away 0-2 when both of those games were in our hands. Let me ask you, chat. Should we have gone for two? Should we have listened to the analytics and kicked the field goal? Because my argument is that screw analytics. There is no analytics. And I've been telling this to literally anybody who will listen. There is no analytics that accounts for Patrick Mahomes in overtime. We once saw him come back in the AFC Championship game in 13 seconds, the full length of the field. You were there. You know it. It's very stressful. It's a very stressful thing. Like there is no way that you could literally account for that. And so I've been saying even before we drove the full length of the field, I was texting my cousin and I was saying to him when we were like still 70 yards from the touchdown. I was saying to him, "Sir, we're going to go for two, right? Please? We're going to go for two? Please tell me we're going to go for two." And yeah, yeah. Yeah, it sounds like some folks in the chat agree with me. It's just like, the people that love me the most, and I appreciate you for stopping by. Um, but yeah, I think you had to go for two, even if it was 1 percentage point better, of an opportunity for you to, um, apparently win the game. But yeah, I mean, he also called like a bogus timeout there. I'm just trying to understand like what was the rationale, and this is why some people are calling for Todd Bowles' for Todd Bowles' job. So yeah, just a few other things I want to chat about. I know that, it's my first live stream. It's, once again, just likely the people who love me the most in my life. I appreciate your support. Thank you. We're gonna have plenty of more of these coming. Um, but yeah, so on the rest of the docket for this week in terms of videos I'm putting out, I feel like we absolutely have to talk about what is going on with the New York Giants and their building, with Daniel Jones. And someone has to explain to me why Drew Lock is not taking reps at this point. Is that mandated from the top down by the owner and the Mara family? I don't understand why we're still having this conversation about Daniel Jones. I think, and you can tell me, if you agree with this or not, but it seems like he is just going to be a really, really good backup quarterback in this league. And really, really good is debatable. Anyway, so we're going to talk about that. I also want to talk about Caleb Williams, who He's for me, he's public enemy number 1. Yeah, he's yeah, I think if you're watching the games, like, just on and off the field, it's pretty concerning. Um, yeah, so we're gonna be talking about that. Yeah, so those are the things. I just wanted to let you know that live streaming is an option. We can potentially be here after the Bucks games, a live reaction. Um, if you want to get involved in the conversation. Um, Also going to talk a little bit more quickly. Just want to um, just wrap up with my final thoughts on the 49ers game with the Bucks. So, first thought on this is Brock Purdy is just he's just kind of average. Like, he's average, right? Like, he just kind of exists. Like, I don't, I feel like that might be a little harsh, but like ultimately the guy is just kind of there. Like, there wasn't a time that you watched him yesterday where you thought to yourself, like, oh, like this guy is what keeps it all together. I mean, it really does feel very plug and play. I think obviously he's an incredible processor. He makes the right decisions. And sometimes, like, he just feels like prototypical game manager to me. And, not that there's anything wrong with that, but we've seen in the Super Bowl now, like, what a game manager looks like in comparison to Patrick Mahomes. So yeah, those are some of the things that I see some folks are texting me, but I'm using my phone. So thank you for being here. But yeah, so I think yeah, I think ultimately it's just I just really think you could pretty much put any guy who's not mistake prone in that position. I think Sam Darnold would have thrived. I mean, the list goes on. I mean, Jimmy G, he always seems to make the worst decision at the worst time, right? Miss the critical throw in the Super Bowl, and so he gets a bad rap. But yeah, I don't know. I think it seems like at this point, with the declining contracts of the San Francisco 49ers, and I say declining, what I mean is the declining older players and these like massive 20 million per year contracts, you know, they are going to need something special at the quarterback position get get over that hump. Because right now, if they haven't already done it, I am hard pressed to find and see a reason why they would be able to do it now. So, just want to say thank you so much for stopping by. Got to get comfortable with the live streaming thing. It's a little bit, a little bit out of my comfort zone, but likely putting out some videos of my week 10 recap. Um, Once again, Daniel Jones, Caleb Williams, Brock Purdy. We're also going to be talking about um, Bryce Young and if Brian Dable needs to be fired. And yeah, let me just give a little dig here at the Atlanta Falcons, who are still average and should have at least split the division series with the Buccaneers. Um, yeah, I'm trying to work through the struggles and the pain. All right, folks. Just want to say thank you again. I will see you next time.